Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means it's time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on this week's episode, Yellow just came back from another tribal council, and Leanna is kind of feeling defeated. I think she's starting to feel regrets about not voting Xander out, saying that when you have the opportunity to get big threats out, you take them. And she's worried that possibly she lost the moment to get the big threat out. So Tiffany ends up finding this beware advantage. And I'm like, didn't we just see Xander get that last episode? So I'm thinking, is this the same thing? Could this be something different? Apparently, what happens is they have to sneak on a boat at night, and they go to another island, and failure to go onto the boat, you lose your vote at the next tribal council. And apparently everybody from each tribe got this. So Tiffany got it for Yellow, Brad got it for the green, and Sydney got it for blue. And yeah, so Brad, before I get to the whole meeting thing, Brad was feeling left out because, everybody was like talking on the beach and he was just sitting back at camp. But that's the thing about Survivor. I mean, yes, it's like a big social game and it's hard to form those relationships, but those relationships are key to getting you farther in the game. And Brad was really on fire tonight. He found advantages. He found an idol. So now Xander and Brad both have an idol. So it's just up to Blue now, and then that idol goes into effect. Because as we learned last week, Brad found an idol, but until the idol gets power, he can't vote at the next tribal council. So JD is also mad because he hasn't found an idol, and that's when Brad finds his. And on the Blue tribe, Nasir is starting to rub people the wrong way at camp. They've originally thought, we're going to vote him out if need be. Then they thought he was essential around camp because he can make fire. Now they're starting to see he could be detrimental to their game. So you get to the island, and it's sort of like the summit from last time. There's 3 advantages that they have to choose from. It's kind of similar rules to the summit. They have to basically either choose a tarp, a steal vote, and then I, for the life of me, could not figure out what the third advantage was. But if all choose tarp, they lose their vote. If there's a split decision, then whoever chose steal the vote would get the steal the vote advantage, and whoever chose tarp would get nothing. So basically, it's not so much a matter of coming to a unanimous decision. You have to hopefully have somebody choose something different than you. And Sydney's already distrusting Tiffany. I'm like, you barely had a conversation with her and you're already distrusting her. That's just a little weird to me. So Brad picks steal the vote, Sydney picks the tarp, and Tiffany protect the vote. That might be the advantage, to protect the vote. Not sure. Comment down below, please, what that third advantage was. So at the immunity challenge, we see that Blue didn't find the immunity idol. And they have to basically, for this challenge, swim across and go on this rope bridge and then dig up sandbags to land this target. And they're playing for immunity, but then also for fruit. And if you come in first and second, they win immunity. So I think that double elimination was just for the first episode. So Blue, of course, won immunity, and Yellow finally freaking won a challenge. And I have to give, Tiffany credit. Whether you like her or not, she doesn't give up in the challenges, even though she may not be the greatest out there. In the challenges, she's giving it her all and fighting like hell. I'm sure JD pissed off a lot of people because he was trying to slam dunk the sandbags on there. And it's like, even somebody point out, like, it's not the NBA, JD. Just throw it up there. And I believe that cost them the win, because had he not been pretending like he was in the NBA, they probably could have, if not won, they could have at least gotten closer. So Brad, because of that, wants JD gone, and JD had found an advantage. And this scene kind of confused me at first, because I thought maybe JD did like a fake advantage or something, which I was thinking, well, that's pretty brilliant to try to pull that off. But he's caught, and now he's lost trust of a lot of people around camp. So I think he did actually find an advantage, but he didn't come clean about it. So now he's lost trust of everyone around camp. And in order to gain trust back, he gave Shan the advantage he has. So, and I'm thinking that is going to be the dumbest thing ever, because who's to say Shan won't use that for herself? I mean, that would be a brilliant move on Shan's part, because technically the advantage is in Shan's possession. And unless it says you can't wield it to anybody else, it's technically Shan's advantage right now, and she could do what she pleases with it. So at Tribal, I have to give JD credit. He recognizes, what he did in the immunity challenge most likely cost him the win, and he's taken accountability for that. And I definitely respect that. If you step up and say, hey, I can do this in the challenge, you have to be able to accept the consequences if you fail. And he did. And it's a question of, do you go with your alliance or do you go with strength? It's starting to get to that point in a game where it's getting close to a merge. So at this point, Ricard, whether you like him or not, made a very good point, and I actually agree with this, that if, like right now, he'd rather go with an alliance, because what is strength going to do him when the merge comes? Because if you keep the Golden Boys, the challenge beasts out there, then come merge, they're going to be the ones that win the immunity challenge. Whereas if you go with the alliance, you've got the whole loyalty thing going on there. And another thing I respected about JD, I mean, he's playing hard, which is, putting a huge target on his back, but he's saying how much Survivor meant to him. And it kind of means the same way to me too, because I was also bullied in school, and when I didn't have a friend in the world, I had Survivor on Wednesday night. So I definitely felt like, in that sense, I connected with JD there. And it's going to feel really good whether you win or lose the game, that you actually got to go out there and play it. And you get to serve as like a role model inspiration to all the Survivor fans out there. And it's really heartwarming to see like somebody who used to be a fan, like in our shoes, somebody who was bullied and everything, and whose idols were like Wu and Malcolm and Joe. Now JD's part of that group now, and part of that family, and now somebody is going to be watching Survivor and is going to say JD's one of their idols. So that's a really powerful thing and really beautiful thing. So JD gets to stay another day. It actually ended up being Brad that got sent home. I was really surprised, because I definitely thought they would go JD, but I think the thought process is that they could use JD longer, like he's basically indebted to them. Two things. If JD would have been sent home, would Shan have been able to keep the advantage, or would they have seen that technically as JD's and it had to go back in the game? Personally, I think it would have been Shan's, because like I said, if it didn't say it can't be yielded to anybody else, I think it's, Shan's advantage. Also, too, all of those advantages and idol that Brad found, now that all goes back in the game. So now I think he had like 2 advantages in idol, which even though he got voted out tonight, that's pretty impressive that he found all of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's Survivor. I hope you guys are too. And I also See here, I have the merge buff from this season, and I think it's fantastic. Look at that. What? I love the colors. I was a little disappointed at first when I heard it was going to be another red buff, but this is probably one of my favorite merge buffs that they had so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Survivor recap, and I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor. And until next time, stay regal.